The Starside Prophecy by Tirri. Read by the author. Chapter 51. Pockets of Illumination. Yarni had long since finished incarnating on Earth and was happy when his assignments took him to other worlds far more interesting, far more beautiful, and with the exception of just a few, far more hospitable. He had just arrived home from a planet currently under inspection. "That animal must have been huge," said Alusha when Yarni unrolled the gift. The hide, now a rug, was larger than a king-size bed and fully intact, with exquisite markings which resembled an ocelot. "Yeah, really huge and really dirty. I cleaned it in the Jordan." Yarni had hauled the rug back starside from a creature planet called Starside in a neighbouring galaxy. It was late in the day, and as Alusha lay in her boyfriend's arms sipping tea, she smiled as he spoke about his trip off-planet. The moolah is similar to a cat or rabbit molting in warmer weather. It sheds its skin every year, but the animal itself is more like a lizard in that it sheds its entire skin every time it goes through a growth spurt. Yarni had found the giant hide hanging from a tree on a trek through the Agila Mountains. In order for a planetary refurbishment to commence, a cataclysmic cleansing had recently and painlessly wiped out the remaining inhabitants of Starside, whose evolution had reached a successful conclusion. The mass culling of divine decree happened by way of an airborne disease, the primary symptoms of which were deep sleep, followed by respiratory failure. Starside was now destined to become a training ground for an underground civilization yet to evolve. They would start out as burrowing rodents with no eyes, but with heightened senses of taste, touch and smell, and they would be endowed with an extreme capacity for problem solving. Yarni's official title was consultant, and he was there to inspect the topography and to make sure even the most concealed and minutest of life forms had perished. His report had already been filed with a higher order of intelligences. Alusha put her teacup back in its saucer and snuggled further into her boyfriend's arms, glad for the firm, fleshy pillow beneath her head and the softness of the fur beneath her naked body. Her boyfriend's frame was more muscular when they had last been together. "Have you been lifting weights?" asked Alusha, stroking Yarni's chest. "Something like that." Yarni was thinking about the evening ahead. It wasn't often that Melchizedek gathered his troops informally. Alusha was thinking about Yarni and how much he intrigued her. When it came to her love life, Alusha felt that Melchizedek monitored her in a little too fatherly fashion. In answer to recent inquiries about her private life, she reminded her creator of the bigger picture. "The eternal life you bestowed upon us all means many relationships will be established, some permanent, others transitory. Perhaps, as eternity progresses, every soul will end up having intimate carnal knowledge of all the other 7 billion. Melchizedek had not asked about her personal life since. Yarni kissed Alusha's forehead. "Well, tell me, my sweet little angel, how have things been in your neck of the woods? How's Melchizedek? How's Sarah?" "Melchizedek's fine, and Sarah's doing her best in a world she's still clueless about." "That's all most can do down there," said Yarni, shaking his head. "I used to feel a lot like Sarah. I couldn't stand the place either. Too much pessimism, too much pretense, too much pain, too much time, too much guilt, too much fucking everything." "Oh, shut up, you silly old fool. Was it really that bad?" said Alusha, laughing. "Yeah, Lou, it really was. I found it difficult to focus. I was too sensitive. The negativity of others really got to me, and when this happened, my own thoughts became just as chaotic as theirs. It took me a lot longer than it should have to progress in that god-awful environment." "Have you been back?" "As a tourist?" "Yes." "No, thank you. When Earth becomes the paradise Melchizedek keeps assuring us it will, I might, but not a day sooner." "What if you're called there on business?" "Business is business. I'd go." "Are you hopeful?" said Alusha, standing up and reaching for her robe. "Yeah, I am. I've seen snippets of the future, and pockets of illumination are showing up all over the place, and one day will envelop the entire planet. Man is due to experience his greater identity, and if the fluidity and ease with which other cultures have adjusted to the same eventuality is anything to go by, I'm actually very hopeful." "That's good," said Alusha, nodding her approval. "That's really good." She stood up and headed towards their bedroom. Her closet on the far side of the room was the size of a rugby field, and yet she found herself extending it every month. She couldn't bear to part with her clothes. They held so many memories. Melchizedek had recently bought her a golf cart to ride around in it on. "Now, my love, time to get ready for our night under the stars," said Alusha. "How long have we got?" inquired Yanni. 30 minutes, and then we should leave."